Jackson, this is Joan Pelser. I'm going to be walking you through Chapter 4, Characteristics of Resiliency-Building Schools. This is from our book study, Resiliency in Schools, Making It Happen for Students and Educators. Questions to consider during this chapter: what are some characteristics of a resiliency-building school? How can communities and environmental factors affect a school's resiliency? And then lastly, how does resiliency building affect school climate? So, as we look at this, there's this quote from Jean Higgins: loving and caring relationships should be far more valued in schools, since it is difficult to learn anything at all without enough love in your life. Because school is the only probable source of resiliency for many, we need to ensure the availability of caring there. So, the number of children served by schools and the amount of time in which students are influenced by their school environment from kindergarten through 12th grade are major reasons why schools are being explored for their potential in fostering resilience in children. The school plays a significant role in child development and the ability of school personnel to develop competence in students, and the ability of schools to organize with parents and community resources are other reasons for using schools to enhance resilience. So schools have opportunities to bring students and their stakeholders together and their community environments in developing it. Students and educators need to function in environments that support the development and the maintenance of resilience. So again, we have that opportunity as an environment to create such a setting. Environmental factors that can contribute to the resilience is using our different resources, our mission as a school and our vision as a school, creating an environment of inclusion, a sense of belonging and being a support, and having those different levels of support as well with one another and with our students. Here's some teacher quotes that came from the qualitative study from Dr. Myers. I think that is huge. If students feel connected to the school and feel a part of the school, then they will be more likely to want to take care of it. Adults and students place value on feelings of respect, comfort, trust, and safety as contributing factors to school climate. So again, building that resiliency can be a big factor in developing the school climate. Another teacher felt the school had a positive climate when everyone was valued and respected. She also felt it was important for the school to continue to reach out to under-involved students, and by doing it could impact the school climate. So again, building in, as you looked at that resilience well, building in those connections. Now, looking at this 2018 preliminary findings from the Northeast Ohio Youth Health Survey, this was working on the development of building connections. So, in Stark County, 55.8% students said, I feel close to people at school. 49.5% of students in grades 7 to 12 said, I feel like I am part of my school. 47.5% said, I am happy to be at my school. 52.8% said, the teachers at my school treat students fairly. 50.3% feel safe in my school. 78.5% feel my friends care about me, and 85.8% feel my family cares about me. So again, this is the more recent study from Stark County here, and we can take a look at how students feel connected. Looking at this page, these are a big list of core value words that you can find that people place values on. And how do these fit into our resiliency wheel? When you look at our resiliency wheel and how we're mitigating and we're building our environments within our classrooms, within our communities, and developing this within ourselves, you can see some of these different core value expectations can apply and tell you what types of resiliency factors and what areas are more of a focus for you. So use this in your own self-reflection practices, working with students. Taking a look again at some of our environmental factors, our mission and vision statement do align very nicely with resiliency. You can look at the different core values and see in our mission and vision statement, we drive our practices. we see the resiliency factors within these statements. So how can we bring these to a full fruition? What can we do to enhance, to match our school's core values to our practice? Are we there yet? What can we improve and develop on these mission and vision? So again, use this in developing resiliency and looking at those core words and those core values that come out. Are there factors that inhibit resiliency building schools? Again, there's some wonderful examples to kind of help steer clear of what might inhibit on pages 48 to 50 to kind of look at. So in the first half of the book here, we got an opportunity to look at what is resiliency, what it looks like in students, educators, some different characteristics. We got a big outlook perspective of what the resiliency wheel is and how it works. Now in the second half of the book, it turns to this topic: successfully engaging in the change process necessary for effective resiliency building to occur in schools. So recapturing the questions to consider during this chapter, there's an activity in the back of the book on page 120. It's figure 8.4 in your resiliency book. So if you turn there, you're going to see there's a chart. And so if you turn your page sideways, and it'll talk about some of the different resiliency building factors. And it takes those 6 that you find in the resiliency wheel. Now, taking those and you're looking at, again, what would it look like, feel like, and sound like for students, for staff? And this allows you to check and see if it aligns, kind of like when you did that Y chart activity from the last chapter, and how we used a lot of our own self-reflection questions from chapter 2 in looking at resiliency in our students. But this is trying to see if they align in values. And then the second part, how will we know we've succeeded in achieving this resiliency builder? Again, how do you see it in students? How do you see it in staff? As lifelong resiliency developers, it may look a little different as they go along a developmental process with resiliency. So use this as a self-reflection tool. Go through, fill it out,